have several members of the Portland Public School Board of Education here with us today. I'd like to ask them to please stand so we can take a moment to appreciate them. We have from Zone 1, Director Christy Split. Zone 2, Vice Chair Michelle DePatt. Zone 3, Director Patty Sullivan. Zone 4, Director Rochelle Chase Miller. Zone 5, Director Virginia LaForte. Zone 6, Director Stephanie Engelsman, who will be joining us shortly. And lastly, from Zone 7, please join me in welcoming to the stage the Chair of Portland Public Schools Board of Education and former Benson High School teacher, Eddie Wong.
Thank you, Celeste, for that wonderful introduction. I'm super glad to be back here at Benson High School. As some of you know, I've had the privilege of teaching here for many, many years before they demoted me to the school board. I just want to, before I continue, I would like to introduce also some elected officials that I was told there's going to be here, so if I forgot you, I'm very sorry, but this is the list they gave me. Can I call your name? Hello?
You were just too funny, you had to cut the mic.
I know. Can you still hear me okay? Really? Okay. When I call your name, please stand up so we can recognize you for your service and appreciate you accordingly. Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici. William Ross from Congresswoman Dexter's office. Representative Shannon Isidore. Senator Con Pham. Representative Rob Gose. Representative Willie Schotzen. Andrew Maddow of Senator Reynolds' office. Council President Alana Pearl-Guinea. Compton Board President Makai Ali. And also, great to see you again, former Director Amy Constam. And also, former Director Gary Hollins. I also want to send a huge congratulations to Superintendent Armstrong for finishing a successful first year as superintendent. We are excited of what's to come for your second year, but also very grounded that it's just all going to be hard work, right? I also want to send a really heartfelt appreciation to all the educators, administrators, and school leaders that are here today. You being here today, most importantly shows your commitment to your work, but even more importantly, it shows how committed you are to our students. As we start this new school year, there's always this feeling of excitement of what's new to come, but also a lot of anxiety, I'm pretty sure, right? I left teaching 5 years ago, and I'm still having anxiety dreams of teaching. Like, for example, you walk in a classroom without a lesson plan. Just a couple weeks ago, I had a dream of preparing a lesson for kindergartners to teach them about dinosaurs and in walks college students. That was a lot of fun. So good luck with that as August and September roll in. But really want to thank you, and I'm really excited to introduce the next person who's actually going to be coming after our video. We have Grant sophomore Gio Calandrella, who will be sharing an original spoken word piece that he wrote for us today for this moment. And again, thank you all for being here. Really excited to get the school year started. So.
And this coming school year, I will be a sophomore at Benson High School. So this last May, I got the honor of performing in Verslandia, which is the Portland Youth Poetry Slam Championship, and I earned 3rd place for my performance. Then, by some miracle, Dr. Kimberly Armstrong, the superintendent of Portland Public Schools, saw my performance at Verslandia and asked me to perform at this event in an effort to showcase student voices. So I'm incredibly grateful for that opportunity, and I wanted to let you all know that the poem that I'm about to perform has not been seen or heard by anyone except for the key organizers of this event. Not even my mom has heard it. Thank you all for being here, and please enjoy. If you've never heard of the FitnessGram Pacer Test, then you should consider yourself lucky. This is the thing that every naive 14 and 15-year-old in freshman PE dreads in the same way that the sun dreads clouds blocking its light. The The monthly occasion of running across the gym, back and forth, over and over again, trying to get to the other side by the time the beep sounds over the shrill high school gymnasium sound system. See how many times you can run across the sneaker-smeared floor as the time between beeps gets shorter and shorter, and your heart rate and suffering get higher and higher. There were a total of 8 all year. For the first one in October, I didn't know what I was getting into. I'll make it to 100, I told myself. I ran across the gym 59 times that day until my body could barely move anymore. That day, the highest in the class was 69. I think we both know that's not a coincidence. For November, I didn't even know there was a pacer test until the period right before PE, but I still made it to 65 in the face of uncertainty. December, I got 70. Told myself I would run over winter break, and even though I didn't, I made it to 74 in January, gradually improving the pep talk I gave to myself before every pacer test while changing into my PE uniform in a bathroom stall. February 78. I was over halfway there by then. I started on a path of thinking about the middle of each month like how a cat thinks about taking a bath. March 80. I start writing encouraging affirmations in my PE workbook for me, 1 month in the future to read as he rises above last month's score, April 82, because I've been practicing with high-intensity interval training, and by now I am reciting my slam poems quietly under my heavy breath as I run for Verslandia. I train while I simultaneously distract myself from the pain, or at least try. April is the second to last one of the year, so in May I'm sick. I'm sick on the day of the last pacer test of the year, of my life. So I'm at home, sitting on my ass while my friends sweat until they're drenched for the last time in class. I walk into the gym later the next week, about a week and a half late. There's a girl who's making up the pacer test that day too. As I start to run, my legs begin to burn. She probably wasn't even trying because she drops out at 30 and I'm all alone. Trying to get into a flow, but the time goes by so slow. The beeps become more frequent and my body gets more heated. My pulse rises along with my self-doubt. But I know that I couldn't live with myself if my score didn't come out higher than it did last month, so I run all the way to 85. And about a minute after I'm done, just because I told myself earlier, maybe you can make it to 90, I run 5 more times across the gym, leaving all regret behind me. The pride I feel is as loud as my breathing. And as I change out of my PE uniform that day with a red face, sweaty clothes, and a smile, all I can think about is how happy I am that I never have to do that again. But do you know what the craziest thing is? I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss the thing that I used to dread every month in the same way that people dread clouds blocking the sunlight. I'm gonna miss the thing that made my body so hot it felt cold, the daunting beeping timer that my muscles told no. I told my muscles go, and I know that if I did it again, I'd make it past 85 and past my record time. After that, I'm never going back. I'm just getting higher, and that's what's the same about running every month to save your grade, or leading and reshaping a school district, or learning how to fly, you just keep rising. And it doesn't get easier. In fact, it gets harder, so really you're getting stronger at a faster rate. But anyway, I guess rising knows no limits. And running's fun if you can win it. Every damn year I work harder and harder, and I'll be damned if I'm not getting any smarter, and let's be honest, you all will be too. So, you tell me, how are you going to keep rising? Because, actually, don't tell me. Teach me. Lead me. Because if together, at the same time, we rise toward the same sky with the same pride, then there is nothing that is out of our reach. Thank you for listening. That is my speech. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. Now, I'd like to please give a very warm welcome to Christian Armstrong and the family of our Portland Public Schools Superintendent, Dr. Kimberly Armstrong.
That was an amazing speech, Jim. But what's even more amazing, which is kind of hard to beat that speech, but you guys did it by showing up this early in the morning. All here to see our mom, their auntie, her grandma, Dr. Kimberly Armstrong.
Opportunity to meet Gio at Firstlandia, and he performed a poem about writing a poem. Gio said, write a poem. Gio said, one day the stars won't be enough anymore. Gio said, write about all the words you wish you had said, and instead you held them like a flower that will never bloom. Gio said, write a poem. Well, I would write a poem about excellence and purpose. I would write about excellence and purpose, and I say this loud. I mean, I'm PPS proud, but I say this loud because this is not a whisper in the corner kind of a moment. We are not a whisper in the corner kind of a district. We are a roar, a chorus rising. We are a shout. That is what I would write about. I would write this poem because from where I stand, I understand that we are the soul of the city, holding heartbeats in every school, in every classroom, in every office, in every space. And we rise. And we sometimes fall, but we get back up with excellence and with purpose, and we stand tall. So if I were to write a poem, it would be about us all. It would be about us. I dedicate that to Gio. Gio, thank you so much for agreeing to do that. Wasn't he amazing? Welcome to the 25-26 school year. Good morning. I am so glad you were here. Thank you again, school board directors, for being here. It's wonderful seeing you. My student advisory group, thank you. We have our student director, Ian. Wave at us, Ian. Thank you. Ian represents Roosevelt High School and all of the districts, but he attends Roosevelt. But yes, that is our student advisor on the school board. I appreciate your presence. To my cabinet, the leadership team, our teacher leaders, thank you for being here. Also, a heartfelt appreciation to our elected officials. Thank you for your presence here. I know there were a couple of people that we may not have mentioned. I think we have our police chief here. Good seeing you. Thank you. If you didn't get a chance to say your name, just wave at us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You all here shows the collective impact of this moment, here to celebrate teaching and learning across Portland Public Schools. So community partners, friends, my family, thank you so very much for being here. I am excited to kick off this moment. And as I said, the affirmation of this moment is pretty powerful. As I reflect on this past school year, two words come to mind: excellence and purpose. And not just as themes, right? It's our truths. You have embodied these words in classrooms, in hallways, in offices, in staff meetings, and in every student action. You've led with courage, heart, and clarity. You have supported each other and stood in the gap for students who needed someone to believe in themselves, believe in them first. So to ground in that shared commitment, I want to kick off with this short video.
You can't be demanding. You can't be relentless. You can't put yourself first. So, put yourself first. You can't be confident, so be confident. You can't challenge, so challenge. You can't dominate, so dominate. You can't flex, so flex. You can't fill a stadium, so fill that stadium. You can't be emotional, so be emotional. You can't take credit, you can't speak up, you can't be so ambitious, you can't break records, you can't have any fun, you can't make it, you can't be proud, you can't keep score, you can't stand out. Whatever you do, you can't win. So win.
The message is clear. You can't win, so win, right? You can't win, so win. You can't win, so win. We can't win, so we win, right? We can't win, so we win, right? We can't rise, so guess what we do? We rise. I appreciate that all across our district and in our city and even in our state, we're constantly being called to action. And all too often we are met with doubt. Doubt about our ability not just to educate, but to accelerate. Not just to support, but to uplift. Not just to teach, but transform lives, right? I believe in Portland Public Schools. I believe in the city of Portland and what's possible here. And every time that we are questioned, every time that you are questioned, it's an opportunity to demonstrate our potential, to show who we are. We've proved what's possible. And let's just celebrate a few of those milestones that we have achieved to get together. So I asked for a few items. I'm like, okay, let me get this envelope because I just need to celebrate some people in the space today, right? So evening scholars, where you at, folks? Evening scholars. Over 1,600 courses completed. Virtual scholars had over 1,100 students last year, creating those opportunities to accelerate last year. Over 200 students participated in career and technical student organizations. These are like Future Business Leaders of America, DECA, and so on and so forth. 457 students earned an industry-recognized credential last year. We have 81 programs across 11 high schools, nearly 12,000, actually almost close to 13,000 students participating in CTE. And what's significant about that is greater than 95% of our students that participate in CTE graduate on time with their class. And what about career-connected learning? Over 12,000 students participated in at least one career-connected learning experience. Over 2,000 students participated in at least one work-based learning experience. And then, I'm happy to report that almost 11,000 students participated in at least one post-secondary college event. And we made history. We outpaced ourselves. So 5,608 exams completed for AP. That is the most in district history. IB, 2,148 exams completed. That is the most in PPS history. And what about dual credit? Okay, well, you know what? Over 5,000 of our students are enrolled in dual credit opportunities. I think about this data and I'm like, oh yeah, they say, hey, you know what, you're not who we expected. And I say, no, we're who you never saw coming. All right, so, and I can go on. Listen, they gave me a limit on my minutes, but I mean, I got a list of folks. I got Laurelhurst Elementary, Lee Elementary, Lynn, Markham, Marysville, MLC, Rosa Parks. All of you took your third graders and grew them by double digits in their fourth grade year. I can go on and on about math, but one of the things that I want you to know is the difference that it makes when our students excel. So I know that I have Trevor, our principal at Harriet Tubman. Where are you at, Trevor? I'm sort of cold calling Trevor because I want him to share with you all the difference that it makes when achievement happens.
Thank you. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not Dr. Armstrong behind the mic. I'm definitely not Geo and I want to do, we have a rising 7th grader here tonight who grinded last year, worked his butt off, went through the application process and the interview process to get into Abbott, and that's Kamarion Withers. Can we do a shout out for him? Because we had double-digit growth in both math and ELA. Something we're really proud of. So go ahead and talk about what you're doing. And I wanted to take a moment to talk with you real quick. I've heard a couple of things in the last 2 days, one around trust and the other around multipliers. As I think about our building, what our team's doing, what Daniel Twist is doing as our instructional coach, we're multiplying. We're multiplying the best practices, the data. We're multiplying what we do and the trust that we're establishing in the building. When I look across the room today, we have early adopters in this space. There are leaders who are implementing best practices before their peers. And in reality, what we have is a bunch of innovators as well. And here, what I want you all to know as teacher leaders is you're in this space because your administrators trust you. There's a lot behind that. We trust you to go into your spaces and your PLCs and your classrooms, to push your peers, to advocate for your kids. And And when we do that, we establish positive partnerships and relationships with our kids, with our families, with our community. And what we've seen is we've had a lot of people rally behind Covenant. People like Gary at Irvington, Teresa at MLK, Michael at Sabin, and Kave at Boise. They are the reasons, a huge part of why now all of our families are coming to Covenant, and we don't have enough desks or chairs. Shut up. As we do this, we have built a deep sense of relationship with our community, and one of the first questions someone asked me when I came in is, how are you going to build community? We are in community already. Our job is to figure out our role within that community. How do we step in and partner with our site councils, our PTSAs? How do we partner with our feeder schools? How do we partner with our families and our kids? And our staff is hyped right now that Rochelle, one of our own parents of one of our kids, is on the school board. Please shout out for her. Our school is hiring our community members, people that have had deep roots there, our administrators, our teachers, people that have brought their kids up through the pipeline. It's something that we value deeply, and as we move forward, I just want you all to think about what your role is that you're playing for your community. I'm going to leave, I know we're tight on time, so I'm going to leave you with this example. We have a couple new staff members joining our building. I imagine you do too after last year, right? And I called a couple teachers this summer and asked them to switch their teaching assignments. And I did that because I told them I thought it would be best for our building. Those are teachers that were there before me, teachers that were established in their spaces, their teachers, their PLCs, their kids knew them as those content area teachers. And they both agreed to move. They agreed to move because we talked about how it would be best to spread the wealth across our PLCs, how it would strengthen the team of our building and be best for our kids, and how it would help support educators of color coming into our building and create a gradual support for them as we support them as they transition into schools. That is the epitome of team and trust. So as we do this, I'm going to call you as we go do our work today. There's a sense of urgency. Urgency can be equity's worst nightmare. So move intentionally, and today, figure out your role. How do you step in? How do you move? How do you advocate? How do we do this for our kids? How do you lean into each other? This job is hard, but we can do it together. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. We have 81, right? Over 80 sites. 81 where we have many, many stories to lift up, right? And so it's important to know that growth is what is anchoring us, right? It's not the finish line, what I'm talking about today. We are just getting started. It is the foundation. We now have a shared, compelling vision. It calls us to sharpen our strategies, deepen our collaboration, and anchor ourselves in high-quality professional learning. This work ahead requires us not just to show up, but to level up. I believe in our teachers. I believe in the brilliance of our students. And I believe in the promise of our classrooms as sacred spaces, where equity is not just a value, but a practice. So yes, with excellence and with purpose, we're launching this new school year. Now some of you may ask, what is purpose? What is this charge that we have today? Well, I am excited that today the teacher leaders and administrators, they're going to be involved in learning by someone who I value tremendously. She is a national expert, a key thought partner, a leader among leaders, and that is Dr. Tammy Campbell. Wave at us. To benefit from her learning, we have over 500 teacher leaders gathered, over 200 site and district leaders, and we are united around 3 instructional truths. Number 1, every student must understand their learning and why it matters. Number 2, every student must be engaged in rigorous grade level work every single day. And number 3, every student must be empowered to assess their own progress and explain their thinking with confidence and clarity. Now these aren't slogans, right? These are our instructional non-negotiables, and it's grounded in our instructional framework. Our why has always been clear, and we are staying the course with our roadmap to educational equity. Our continuous improvement plan is our strategic plan, and it speaks to our focus on literacy PK-12, mathematics, attendance, and ensuring that every single one of our ninth graders are on track. The rise in our students is the rise in us. So our work must begin and end with them, not with fear, not with test scores, not with systems that were never designed for them to thrive. We must be bold enough to dream wildly for them and determined enough to build the systems they deserve. And we are actively doing that. We are welcoming in a new generation of learners into our high schools. I'm talking about Generation Alpha. They're coming into a world that is changing faster than ever. It's probably already changed since I've been on this stage. They are watching us, they are listening to us, they are learning from us. They are depending on us to rise with the moment. This is why I didn't wait to Friday for the traditional lunch that we typically have with the administrators in the send-off. I said, no, I need this day to be centered with our teacher leaders and the administrative team together, because our work begins and ends with you. It's working in collaboration. It's centering the work that needs to be centered, not in the margins, right? So here's my call to action. Let's move with urgency, because our time is precious. Let's collaborate with humility across district and schools. The sum of us is greater than any one of us. Let's listen, lift, and love, because that fuels liberation. And let's walk with purpose, rooted in excellence, every single day. We are not here for mediocrity. We are not here to play small. We are here to win together. So as we open this school year, know this: we will keep rising. And yes, we will keep winning. Now I wanted to show one more video that really brings home this moment for me. And it's a reminder of the work ahead and how we move forward anyway. Let's play this video.
If people say your dreams are crazy, if they laugh at what you think you can do, good. Stay that way. Because what non-believers fail to understand is that calling a dream crazy is not an insult. It's a compliment. Don't try to be the fastest runner in your school or the fastest in the world. Be the fastest ever. Don't picture yourself wearing OBJ's jersey. Picture OBJ wearing yours. Don't settle for homecoming queen or linebacker. Do both. Lose 120 pounds and become an Ironman after beating a brain tumor. Don't believe you have to be like anybody to be somebody. If you're born a refugee, don't let it stop you from playing soccer for the national team at age 16. Don't become the best basketball player on the planet. Be bigger than basketball. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. When they talk about the greatest team in the history of the sport, make sure it's your team. If you have only one hand, don't just watch football, play it at the highest level. And if you're a girl from Compton, don't just become a tennis player. Become the greatest athlete ever. Yeah, that's more like it. So don't ask if your dreams are crazy. Ask if they're crazy enough.
Wasn't that amazing? So y'all know y'all superintendent, right? So I had the opportunity to meet Colin Kaepernick. And he talked about this, this banner that hung in the locker room.
Hey, Dr. Armstrong. As Dr. Armstrong was saying, in college, a banner stretched across our locker room wall. In big block letters, it said, "No one rises to low expectations." Those words have followed me into every huddle, into every boardroom, and they follow me onto the stage today. Portland, the world is not slowing down. It's not lowering its expectations for our kids. The future is complex, fast, and unforgiving. So our expectations must be sky high, and our support even higher. To the young poet who opened today, your words are still hanging in this auditorium. You reminded us that a single student voice can crack open a whole sky of opportunity and possibility. That's exactly why we're here. I want to start by saying good morning, Portland Public Schools. Students, educators, support staff, administrators, board members, families, and every community member that's here. You fought through traffic, you carved out time, and you showed up because you believe in what's possible for our students. For that, I say thank you. Dreaming crazy and then doing the work. A few minutes ago, we just watched the videos. Dreaming crazy, you can't win, so win. Those spots celebrate the audacity to aim higher than comfort allows. But a commercial ends after 60 seconds. Your story keeps rolling. It rolls through first period algebra and late night lesson plans, through cafeteria conversations and parent-teacher conferences. What matters isn't the slogan on the screen. What matters is how we live those words on Monday morning. And that brings me to our theme. Together we rise with excellence, with purpose. The standard we set, not the trophy we hold. Excellence isn't a medal you polish. It's a muscle you train. It's the quiet choice to do one more rep, one more revision, one more rehearsal. It shows up in the workout before dawn and the late night study session. Muscles grow when we meet resistance, and our minds grow the same way. Lift the bar of expectation. Spot one another with support, and watch how strong we get together. Then ask, what's next? Because excellence refuses to be finished. Educators, you already know this. Every time you raise the bar, students stretch farther than they thought possible. Excellence is the echo of your expectations today. Purpose is why school buses rumble down wet streets before dawn, and why teachers spend Saturdays tweaking a lesson that will land on Monday morning. Purpose keeps students rehearsing rehearsing a presentation even when the game controller is home. Purpose makes a janitor's freshly polished floor feel like an invitation to greatness. And our deepest purpose, students themselves. Not just on behalf of them, but with them. They aren't passengers on this journey. They are at the wheel. And we are co-pilots, privileged to help navigate. Yesterday, I sat on Nike's campus, and I walked past this bench. And on the bench had the words, "Greatness is wherever someone is trying to find it." That truth is stamped on every hallway of every Portland school. The student rereading feedback to typing a college essay. That's greatness. The bus driver greeting each student by name at 7:12 a.m. That's greatness. The educator teaching a new American how to wrap their tongue around American English vowels. That is greatness. Greatness is here because you're looking for it and because you expect it. This year, we are amplifying student voices like never before. Students who will research climate justice, compose symphonies of code, and turn lunchtime brainstorms into TED Talk worthy ideas. Your questions will steer curriculum. Your creativity will shape policy. Your stories will headline assemblies, city councils, maybe even Congress. Speak up, and we'll turn that mic up for you. Educators, administrators, community members, your task is simple, though not easy. Listen, equip, and expect. When a student's idea scares you a little bit, that's a clue you're on the right track. Stand with them. Build with them. Let's make a promise that by the last bell in June, every student will know at least one adult who says, "I see greatness in you." Every classroom will treat mistakes as data for improvement rather than verdicts. Every board decision, every budget line, and hallway poster will echo the same message. Together we rise. So, to all my students, if you're ready to chase excellence with purpose, please stand up. Educators and staff, if you're ready to match their courage with your craft, stand up. Families, board members, community partners, if you're ready to invest the sweat, time, and heart, please stand up. Now everybody look around. This is what together looks like. Remember that bench. Greatness is wherever someone is trying to find it. Let's make Portland Public Schools the easiest place on earth to find greatness. remember that no one rises to low expectations. Together we rise with excellence, with purpose. Let's make this year an unforgettable one. Thank you. Hey, listen, I love you all. Thank you for being here. This year is about you.